Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back for day 95 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you are well and enjoying your weekend. So, 100 Days of Halloween for the 95th time. What are we doing? Real quick, my lovely Yarny friend and sister Ranee over at the Woolly Llama Shop had a brilliant idea she shared with several of us on a live back in July that she was wanting to do a blanket for the 100 Days of Halloween, and for this blanket, she was wanting to break it down into the 100 days or a 6 inch by 6 inch granny square, and each square have its own theme, motif, applique, what have you, to build a blanket during the whole 100 days of Halloween. I was all for it. I thought it was a brilliant idea. And so I joined in with her in solidarity. And so, with her idea, she scoured the interwebs, compiled this big long list of all of these different blocks and appliques that are fallen Halloween themed, correlated each one with a number, and has been drawing them at random from her jinxed jack o' lantern of joy to provide you guys every day with a daily dose of a free pattern or tutorial for said square or applique to use however you wanted to. Didn't necessarily have to be a blanket like some of our other yarny friends and sisters that could not commit to a blanket. They chose to do other projects, and um those were Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations. She did make squares. However, they were not going into a blanket. She had a lot of lifey stuff, could not commit to a large project like that. And she made wearables for herself and some lovely littles in her life. And she is revealing those during her 13 days of Halloween. So then we also have Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet, who made a handbag, a crossbody bag. And then she ended up turning around and making a matching scarf. And then she totally went a different direction, did an amigurumi. She's also been making pumpkins along with a bunch of us. Um, and who knows what else she's going to get into before the end of this all. So, if you do not know who my Yarny friends and sisters are, every one of them that I mention in this video, as always, will be linked in the description box. Please go check them out. They are so creative, so fun. I just absolutely adore them, and I think you will too. And if you want more information on the 100 Days of Halloween, it started off as a crochet along and it turned into a craft along. Please go check out Rainey's videos. She will tell you everything you need to know to be involved. And um, if you don't already know and you participate, there's one of these involved. Yes, to be part of the gang. So, yeah, go check out her videos. So, how I was doing my squares was at the very beginning because we started off right after she brought up the whole idea. I was carrying scrap balls of yarn with me to different appointments I had because I had a lot of them right then. And before I knew it, I ended up having the majority of my squares ready for the blanket. A lot of them just needed appliques, etc. So I decided if she was going to draw the inspiration for different squares and appliques at random every day, I was going to draw my squares at random every day. And from one day to the next, we would not know what color of square we were going to be working with or design. So I thought that would be fun. And it would give me 24 hours ish to figure out what to put on a square by the next day. And I've been using inspiration from you guys. I have used a lot of the suggestions and inspirations. I also have used inspiration from what Rainey has drawn. I have used inspiration from Nova. I have used inspiration from Patricia. I have also used inspiration from while I was out and about in the wilds, things that I saw either running errands or while we were on vacation, and even things I've seen on TV, etc., or favorite movies even. So with that, doing my squares, I have been grouping them, keeping track in batches of 10. Once I have 10 done, I do a video short, upload it as kind of like a square recap before it gets fed into the blanket. and that way you can see them. And yeah, and then I do a blanket update here and there, which I'm going to do another update today. Um, I have not added any squares since last week, but we do have new people. I will show you where we are on the blanket right now because as of today, we only have 5 more days. And so I have quite a bit of squares I need to add in and get us caught up to this group of 10. So without further ado, let's look at this group of 10 we're working on because we are working on 91 through 100. And we'll see where we are as of today. And then we will draw for tomorrow's square and see what we're working with. So for day 91, we drew at random out of the Boo Box of Fate this eyeball square right here. And it's called the Halloween Eyeball Granny Square by Stitched by Faye. And for those that are new, if you look in the description box, if you want to make the square or just even the eyeball to use on something, all you have to do is look for the day number square and it'll give you all of the information on where to find it. So that was day 91. And then day 92, we drew a fluorescent bright orange and I couldn't really figure out what to put on it. And I had a little mishap, ended up in the ER. So I was kind of limited on time. And because nothing applique wise I already had in my box waiting for a square was working because of the color, I ended up just freehanding this pumpkin face and putting it on the square. At some point, I might add like maybe a little stem and the little curly Q or leaf or something. But right now, this is where we are with that square. And then for day 93, we drew out this top secret square that I had been working on. And I intentionally did not show you the front when I drew it. I wanted you guys to guess what was already on it because it was already ready to go. And there were some guesses that were fairly close. Some were kind of right on the money with the inspiration. And what it was Harry Potter's iconic glasses with his little scar, lightning bolt scar, and then the HP for Harry Potter. And basically, I took inspiration off of a cup cozy picture that I saw online. And I just did 2 circles that were same color as the background and trimmed them out in black and then just did a chain and single crocheted across, attached them, and then sewed them down to make his glasses. And that was day 93. Then for day 94 square, yesterday's square, we had drawn out this Red Heart Super Saver jumbo stripes in the neat, no, the brights. This happens, I did a bunch of these squares, let the colors flow. They all turned out entirely different. We left this one blank because we are trying to be strategic because I do have several appliques that are too large for just one square. And I want to be able to, when I'm putting the blanket together with what squares we have left, I want to be able to put them in a manner either stacked or side by side, depending on the applique, to use them to put those extra large appliques on. And then for the ones I don't end up using for those, I will probably at some point put a smaller applique on some of them. And we will revisit those when that happens. So that was yesterday's square. And then before we left out yesterday, we drew this deep purple. It's like a grape um, at random. And I was trying to figure out what to put on it last night. And then it hit me. I had promised someone that I was going to implement something on a square before this whole blanket was all said and done. And I think I promised her actually twice. And I could not let her down. So I was thinking and thinking and thinking how I was going to do this. And let's see what you guys said first before I reveal the square and tell you why. So, comments, Missy comments. Okay, so Karen Smith said, "Hi, Lady O. I still think the golden snitch would look good on that color." Um, We didn't do the golden snitch since we just did Harry Potter. And then we have Lisa from Lisa Knits who said, "Hi, Missy Spooky Stars." Um, there might be a little star twinkling in the square. We will have to see. So you might be close. And then Sam from Memphis Makes said, "Yesterday's square set the mood for today's rare day off Friday." Yes, that square did. We did take the day off on that one. But I was working on other projects. So kind of a day off, just not entirely. Snuggly blanket tea crochet in first two Harry Potter movies with two of my boys. That sounds like an awesome day. I saw those were playing yesterday when I was crocheting, and but I ended up watching some other movies that were going on, and a series that were treasure hunters, historical treasure hunters. So I was kind of watching those for a little while. And she said, "For the purple, how about Mike Wazinski from Monsters Inc. Loving the Advent?" Um, I hadn't even thought about Mike. Um, and we only have a few more days left of squares. Um, I don't know. We may have to take that one into consideration, Sam. And then, and as far as the Advent, I'm loving it too. And we will open day 7 today. Crafty KN said, "Love today's mini. It looks 80s colors. Your boo square is amazing. Thank you. For your purple square, it looks like the night sky." And I thought the same thing. Maybe a spooky moon and stars or a ghost. And here another one with the star idea. And we'll see that in a second. And then we have Ranee over at the Woolly Llama Shop said, "I'm guessing a haystack at Purpley Twilight, keeping it classic." I'm surprised she didn't say toilet paper and eggs. So those were the comments. And those of you who mentioned stars were kind of in the realm of where I was going with this. So, as I said, the square I decided to do um was a suggestion from our near and dear awesome Laura, affectionately called Mimi or Lala from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. She had been wanting to see a calico cat, and I could not let her down because I do have a blanket full of kitties, even though they are all black. But I do love me a calico cat too. I do. We've got kittens that we acquired that are from a calico cat. Um, so I did the calico kitty for Laura over at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. Um, I took the basic cat pattern that is the cat silhouette from Coastal Crochet, and it's for this square that Rainey drew right here. It's kind of a rainbow-esque square with a little, like a sunset or something, and then it's got the black cat silhouette. I decided I was going to do the silhouette in white so that I could make the spots. And I just did one of the ears in black, one in orange, and just made little spots and sewed them on. And then I put some little twinkling stars. So there is the Calico Kitty just for Laura, because you guys know I love me some Laura. And so I had to put her kitty suggestion on there to go with all my black cats. So that was day 95 square, and I love it. I think it's going to be a cute addition to my blanket, and I will forever and always remember Laura as well in that blanket every time I see this square. So without further ado, and Laura, I hope you like it. I tried hard to get the gist of a calico cat on there, even though I couldn't find an applique or anything that was a calico cat. So I just went with a basic white silhouette and added spots. I crocheted little spots and sewed them all on. Okay, so let's draw the square for tomorrow and see what we're working with. We only have a few left in the box, guys. It's getting light. Okay, let's mix them up. Okay, so this is tomorrow's square. It is green, a fluorescent green with an orange and that same purple trim out that's on this one. Yeah, the back is a mess. Same purple. So this is what we're working with tomorrow. So put your comments and suggestions in the comment section on what you guys think is going to go on this square for tomorrow. And yeah, I think I already know what's going to go on here. I'm not going to say. I want to see if you guys guess it. So this is tomorrow's square. I think it's pretty. Very pretty. I like the colors. Okay, so we already drew the square. Let's give you a little blanket update for those that you are new here. So I have been putting my blanket squares together in a C2C fashion, and I've been using the Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Stripes in the brights because so many, as you can see, so many of the colors that are in this, well, all of them actually, are all over the place, and some of the squares that were made out of whole skein of this are in my blanket. And I think it ties everything together so well. And putting it together in a C2C fashion enables me to not be stressed out putting 100 squares together, because by doing it in C2C, whenever I'm doing it, I only have the end where I start, and then by going down, I only have the end where I leave off. And that's only 2 ends to weave in every time I add a row. Instead of doing a seam for each square in between, because we knew there was going to be 10 across and 10 up and down. And if I seamed them all on the bottom and then seamed across in each one, that was going to be 50,000 ends, and we weren't going there. I wanted this to be fun. I wanted it to not stress me out. And I have to thank Sam over at Memphis Makes for talking about this join. And she got the idea from Christina, who had posted about it over from Bella Uncinetto. And I am so glad they did, because it is a zigzag slip stitch seam. And using that yarn with the color changes, it just kind of brings it all together. So doing it in C2C now, because we've got 10 up and down and across, and now we're working over. So we've already done the row of 9. Now we will be doing 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I've got a bunch of squares in a box. So this is where we are with the blanket, for those of you who are new. And of course it gets bigger as we go down, because we've already got the 10 across on the bottom. And we started off with that little witch hat square down in the bottom. That was our day 1. And here we go. So this is your last sneaky peek, because I will be adding squares starting tonight and trying to strategically place ones that we've already gone through that are blank for the extra large appliques. So that leaves us with one little piece of business. We need to open day 7 of the 13-day Halloween Advent by Wildflower Yarns, and it was called In My Pastel Goth Era. And these were the first 6 days of that Pastel Goth Era Advent. So pretty, so sparkly, gorgeous. And let's open today, October 25th, which is day 7. I can't believe we've been doing this for a week already. So there we go. October 25th, and the stickers are so stinking cute. And all of the tissue paper they're wrapped in have the little ghosties. Okay, let's see what we got today. Ooh, guys. This one is giving me Wicked vibes. I'm serious. This one, oh, it's so cool. It is so cool. Look. It's a lighter green like a spearmint, and it's got this like turquoise, black, purple. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I don't know if you can see the sparkles. You can see it in the darker colors more so than the lighter because of my lighting. But oh my gosh, guys, look, isn't that gorgeous? Let's put it on the hanger with its sisters. Look. Oh my gosh. I know I'm going to have a hard time picking the perfect project for these when it's all said and done. So that was day 7. These are so pretty. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see day 8. So we will do day 8 tomorrow. And I guess with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. I hope you get some crafty or crochet time in. Watch some fun fall or Halloween themed movies. Kind of enjoy the season. It's gotten a little, the temperatures have dropped here and the weather is very cozy, and we have a lot of rain moving in starting tomorrow night. And for the majority of this week, it's going to be a lot of rain. And I do mean a lot. So it is definitely going to be soup and crock pot dinner season. Yay! I love the fall. And hopefully the temperature drops enough that I can break out the hoodies. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I love you bunches. Come back tomorrow for day 96 and for day 8 of the 13 days of Halloween yarn advent from Wildflower Yarns. And if you want to see more from Wildflower Yarns, her shop is linked in the description box. Let me tell you, her yarn is scrumptious. It is gorgeous, all hand dyed and beautiful. And I thank Sam for showing her, I think it was dip dye grab bags or something that Sam had gotten. And so that caused me to go check her out. And that was how I found the yarn advent that was taking pre-orders way back in July. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you back tomorrow for day 96. Love ya. Bye for now.